I would make a quick little video about my main computer because I don't talk about it nearly often enough, and I've gotten a couple of questions. You know, what is your main computer? And variations on that. You can see my old main computer as the desktop background, which is actually kind of fitting for this video. This is actually a really old picture, as you can see. Not only is there a mess back here, I haven't had those in years, but I've only got the one USB hub. Or, I know, I've got two of them. The other one is at the back, though, but I don't have nearly as many hard drives hooked up as I do now. But anyway, the old machine's a T500. It's sitting in a bag down there. That fits in this bag right here. And I use it as my portable system, but since school's out, I'm not really using it at all. It's just sitting in that bag doing nothing. This one is a T410, as you can see. It's also a Lenovo ThinkPad. I've had Lenovo ThinkPads for the last 4 years. And I have to say that they're a worthwhile investment. Prior to that, my first Lenovo ThinkPad, which was a T61, I had a Toshiba Satellite L300D040, which is a consumer-grade laptop. And that thing was a piece of crap. And before that, I had a netbook, which was also a piece of crap. Although it did work. It did work. I guess I can say for the netbook. The netbook worked. The Satellite did not work at all, but the T500 and the T61 that I had before the T500 have worked perfectly fine, no problems. I've had to replace a couple hard drives, had to replace a display, but that was my own fault, and that's pretty much it. So they're reliable. I am going to say right now that if you're looking for a gaming machine, you're better off looking at something else, like an HP ProBook or an HP EliteBook, because those are actually much better than these. They've got better processors, newer processors, and a lot of them are configured with the ATI Radeon graphics, or I think it's actually AMD Radeon graphics. I don't know. It depends how old it is, if it's ATI or AMD, because, of course, ATI was bought by AMD. I don't even remember when. Oh, as you can see, the background just switched to a bunch of clouds. Now, I have of course, the desktop background switching going on. But anyway, so what is actually in this computer? I'll tell you what's in it right now. It's got a Core i5 520M CPU. If we can take a look here at our properties. I had to install updates. Core i5 M520, it's actually supposed to say 520M at 2.4 gigahertz. It is slightly slower than my Pentium D over here, but it's a lot better than the Pentium D ever was. So, there you go. Got a 4.4 in the Experience Index, of course, because it's only using the Intel onboard graphics. That's all it's got. I use it for video editing, though, and it works perfectly fine for that purpose, so I don't really care. And there's some dust on my camera lens, which is really annoying me. Well, screw dealing with the camera lens dust, because I can't get enough there, apparently. Anyway, like I said, it's got a Core i5 520M, and it's got 6 gigabytes of memory, which is an odd number. It's running in single channel, but I don't really care. I'm looking to upgrading it to 2 4 gigabyte modules so I can have 8 gigs total. I've already got a 4 gig DDR3 1600 module that's actually meant for a Macintosh, but it works fine in this, and one of the original 2 gig sticks. I don't know when I'm going to upgrade the memory. I might do it this weekend, but I mean, it's not really worth making a separate video about it, is it? You've already seen how to upgrade. Then again, I might show you how to do that, because it's slightly different than on the other machine, because, you know, there's a RAM door underneath it, which accesses one slot, the other slot is underneath the keyboard. But anyway, It's got a 1440 by 900 maximum resolution, 14-inch LED backlit display panel. Best display I've ever used. It's a lot better than the CCFL backlit ones because, first of all, it is a lot brighter. Second of all, it can also go to a much lower brightness. I can adjust it here with one hand, as you can see. That is very dim. I can hardly even see that. And the other thing is that it won't degrade nearly as quickly as a CCFL, and it also won't turn pink like a CCFL will as soon as it starts getting old. My T42P has an aging CCFL in it, and you can see that it's turning pink. It's really annoying, actually. But anyway, they turn pink as they're, well, when they're cold, they turn pink as they start to age. Hard drive-wise is probably the most biggest cluster insert swear word of choice here. I have a lot of hard drives installed, as you can probably see. Far too many. I don't need all of these drives. Well, I do need all of these drives because I don't throw things out. I don't delete things. Because I know that as soon as I do it, I'm going to regret it. There is another drive back there, you just can't see it. Because of the wonderful sunlight. There are 2 drives internally. You've got the 128 gigabyte ADATA SX900 SSD. Probably the best purchase I've ever made for something like this because it really increases the performance. And it was really cheap. I think I paid about $80 for that after tax. Maybe it was $90, I don't know. But it's about the cost of a 500 gigabyte laptop drive. And the performance, you just can't go wrong with an SSD, as long as you get one of the higher end ones, because you can still buy some low end SSDs for real cheap, but they're not really powerful. In fact, I think some of them are slower than SATA 3 gigabit per second, which is kind of annoying. But this thing was $80. I think right now it's about $120 because I got it on sale, so it's like $40 more. So I got it at the right time. The files drive, which is in this little bay here, this is an Ultra Bay, is a 750 gigabyte Western Digital Caviar Black drive. Decent drive. Unfortunately, the system only supports SATA 3 gigabit per second. It's not a SATA 6 gig system. So even though these drives support SATA 6 gig, they're only going to be running in SATA 3 gig, which is going to hamper their performance a little bit, but I don't really care. I still get miles of performance out of this thing, a lot more than I ever got with my T500. The drive that's hooked up via eSATA is also a SATA 6 gig that's running in SATA 3 gig, but that's more or less because of this enclosure. This enclosure is limited. Ow, that's actually kind of hot. The Nexstar CX is limited to SATA 3 gig by design. It wouldn't really matter because this thing would be running in SATA 3 gig anyway. But the drive that's in there is actually the only Seagate I have ever had that has been reliable. It is an ST2000DM001. And I've had 0 problems with it. No bad sectors. It's been running basically non-stop. If we take a look here, I can find it. Where is it? It should be the M drive. Of course, it's one of the last drives here, so I'm going to have to wait for that thing to spin up. It is the last drive. 1723 hours. No reallocated sectors, no reallocation events, which I don't even think it records, but anyway, it has been running absolutely perfectly fine. I use it to store my videos. This drive is a 2 terabyte Toshiba. I used to use it to store my videos until I got this drive. Right now it's being used to store an image of this drive just in case it decides it's going to fail, which I don't expect it to anytime soon. I'm probably also going to be moving the videos that I've downloaded from YouTube onto this thing. Off of the random files drive, which is right here, the old Seagate enclosure. The random files used to be on this 320 gigabyte WD Caviar, it's a WD My Passport drive. Oldest drive I have, most reliable drive I've ever used. I have dropped that thing while it's running. It's hit the ground, and it's been slammed against my bed and my desk before, and it still doesn't have a bad sector on it. I've never lost any data with it, so I call that pretty good reliability, especially compared to the original Seagate drive that was in here, which failed after about 5 months. But right now, I think this has a Toshiba. Yes, it's got a Toshiba 320 gigabyte drive in it. There's spare parts I had lying around. This drive back here is another backup drive. I'm using this one for backups right now, by the way. Another backup drive, a 1 terabyte Toshiba Canvio USB 3.0 drive. Even though the system will not be able to take advantage of USB 3.0, it's a USB 2.0 system only. These two right here are Vantech Nexstar TX enclosures. Both of them have got 500 gigabyte Western Digital Caviar Blue drives. One of them holds all of my ISO images for various operating systems and other things, and the other one holds all my virtual hard disk drive images, or my VHDs for my virtualization stuff. And then the drive back here, this My Passport Ultra, is another 500 gig drive, and I use it for backups as well. I think I use it for backups. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm using that one for backups. I can take a look here, though. You can see all of that. Some of these drives are really running out of space. I really need to get another 2 terabyte drive, but I don't have the money to do that. I have a lot of files, and it's kind of sad because I actually remember way back getting excited when I got a 120 megabyte hard drive. It was a Conner Peripherals CP30121. I still have that drive. I thought, wow, I'll never fill that thing up. But now I'm filling up these 2 terabyte drives, and it's actually great. Apparently I haven't got an image on this yet. Should get around to doing that. I thought I had imaged that, but I guess not. So I'll have to do that. But anyway, you can see we've got a lot of space used on this 2 terabyte drive. Clearly, using an HD camera for several years has pretty added up quite a bit. I don't even keep the raw video files. I just keep the files out of my video editor. And whatever raw files are still being edited or still in videos that I haven't checked after being uploaded. But that's okay. This is the drive that I wanted to look at. Yeah, it's just being used as an image drive, so that's alright. So I don't really know what's next. I do need to get another drive eventually. Hopefully I can do that, and it's not going to blow the bank. I'm going to wait until there are sales going on for drives. In fact, I might wait for another one of these Seagate ST2000 DM001 drives to go on sale, and do it that way. Because a 2 terabyte laptop drive is going to be astronomically expensive, and I think it's going to be $130 for an external 2 terabyte drive in the portable size, which is 2.5 inch. And I'm not really going to buy a 3.5 inch OEM drive because it's just not worth it. The one network drive that I've got installed here is actually the music drive that is on my Dell that's sitting over there. It's a 32 gigabyte flash drive. And I've actually got it hooked up. I've logged into it as an administrator, so I have read-write permissions on that. But there you pretty much have it. As for what I think about the machine, I think that it is absolutely stupendous. Like I said, if you're looking into gaming on one of these, heed my advice and don't. It's not a very high-end system. It's a business computer, so it's meant to be used for business tasks. It's not even meant to be used for video editing, but it does a pretty good job of it. Do better if it had a built-in GPU, but it doesn't. Some of them do have built-in GPUs, and if you can find one with one of those, it's a lot better than one of these for gaming. But you're still better off getting like an HP EliteBook or an actual gaming computer. But if all you're looking to do is go online, surf the web, watch videos, maybe render your own videos, this thing would be perfect. But anyway, there's basically a look at my main computer and what's in it. As for other stuff that I've got hooked up before I go, I have it hooked up via Ethernet into this little box right here, and I'm sharing the internet connection out to a whole bunch of other PCs on the network. So I can go online with machines that either have faulty wireless hardware or don't have wireless hardware at all, which would be most of them. But anyway, I'm just wrapping on now, and really, although this video was an excuse for me to just talk to you guys, I think I've talked quite a bit over my limit. So thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then.